Hello again. So my question today is, do we treat the homeless fairly? Let me start by saying that my father spent much of the last 20 years being homeless. I would always ask him questions about what is it like being homeless. As you would expect, it's a living nightmare. People assume for some reason that there are homeless shelters where people can go if they get desperate. Yes, some cities have homeless shelters, but did you know that the vast majority of cities in the United States do not have homeless shelters? Specifically in the region of the country where I grew up, granted it was a tourist area, they have virtually zero shelters for men, and the ones they do have, you can only live there for a small, limited period of time before they kick you out. In the state that I live in, 99% of homeless people sleep on the streets, not in shelters. There are some local cities that have homeless shelters, but they are many times violent places. A lot of the people in the shelters have recently come out of jail and sometimes physically attack or threaten people for no reason. Depending on the quality of the local homeless shelter, many times people prefer to sleep on sidewalks or in quiet side streets or back alleys because they may feel safer on the streets than they do in the shelter. One of the hardest parts of being homeless is dealing with police officers. Uh, Vagrancy is a crime in the United States, and as you might and if you're sleeping on the sidewalk or a bench, the police will quickly wake you up and tell you to move. Police officers are incredibly disrespectful to homeless people. Let me ask you a question. Why is it a crime to be homeless? No one wants to be homeless. So why do the police punish homeless people by waking them up and telling them to move? Sometimes the police will grab you and put you in their car and drop you off in a completely different city. All this for no reason. Because they can. The police like to feel powerful. They just want to make homeless people as uncomfortable as possible, as if a homeless person isn't miserable enough. The police have to push them around, force humans to migrate around like they're buffalo. The police won't let you sleep in public. If they find you sleeping, they'll push you around aggressively until you just migrate to another part of the city. The police treat homeless people like dogs. In in my opinion, there are a number of possible government solutions to end homelessness. The most obvious idea is a universal basic income. Just give people $1,000 a month to live wherever they want in peace. Another idea is guaranteed housing. So the government could just build enough tiny houses and all the homeless people, tiny houses for all the homeless people. It really wouldn't be that expensive. Like if each tiny house could cost like $5,000. There's no reason not to do that either. I just think we could do more in our society to help people that are homeless in particular. Uh, there was a story of a man in Texas ending up at a hospital because of pneumonia. The man getting sick every couple of months, and it was costing the ER costing the ER at the hospital hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep treating him. So to save money, the hospital just bought an apartment for the man, and now he doesn't get sick anymore because he's indoors. And the hospital is saving a huge amount of money because they don't have to pay the doctors, the nurses, and the staff to treat him every few months. In Seattle, they are creating a tax for corporations, large corporations like Amazon and Starbucks that are based there. The tax money will go to build tiny homes for homeless people and other forms of housing for homeless. But not every city is as rich as Seattle to afford this. But if more cities made an effort to help the homeless people, then the world would be a better and much fairer place. Thank you for watching.